my single-member district, no, actually it's not, it's your single-member district, Alfreda. When we first looked at this project, there was supposed to be some market housing and to support the affordable housing. When it went to the city, they changed it to be absolutely every one of those units was to be affordable housing, and we voted against supporting that particular project because they did make a big change to it. So they are looking for us to approve a loan of $18 million after we did not approve the development of the property. Do you want to make the motion either to approve or not to approve? Okay. Alfreda's asked me to make the motion. Since we did not approve the development project, I would be making a motion that we do not support the loan for $18 million until they adjust the market rate housing and the affordable housing, as well as the grandparent program. And I request somebody to second that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion from commissioners?
So they want to borrow 18 million from the city to build, that's the apartment building that had grandparents and children being raised in.
Yeah, and what originally it was, the main building was supposed to be mixed housing, so it would be some affordable and some market value. And the market value was supposed to cover the cost for everything that was needed for the grandparent program. And then the city actually changed it to had to be all totally affordable. And they're gonna give them an $18 million loan. So I'm suggesting that they need to come back to the table and talk about perhaps going back to the original design.
Just for clarification, why does the city need the A&C support if they're going to loan or lend 18 million to Bible Way?
Because we have great weight for any action,
Such as it is.
such as it is, we are asked to give our written opinions on this. So I'm making a motion that we do not support this loan. Alex has seconded. Is there any other questions or discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Why do you don't want to support for the for it to be all low income housing?
We had discussed this at a number of meetings previous, and we chose, when they first approached us, it was supposed to be mixed income housing, where it would be some market value, some ADU units, and some very low income. And we actually liked that proposal. When the city changed it, we did not care for the idea of having, I forget how many units, it's 220 some odd units of only low-income housing. We thought the mix was better for the different reasons. People are able to better execute how they upgrade themselves from being at the bottom of the totem pole to being in the middle class. And so we had chosen to support that method versus all low income.
I have a question. Did the city give their reason for changing their position?
No.
No reason.
And we asked in writing for that. But the reason we didn't get an answer is because it's private property and the city doesn't actually have to deal with us. In essence, the property is privately owned.
But Marge, wasn't it, I can't exactly remember, but wasn't it not all going to be low income but affordable? Isn't that the correct to be more, because there's low income affordable market. So if I recall, that it was going to be the majority affordable, and that the change was due to the mayor's initiative of having more affordable housing cut off. So that was the change. That was why they were told, because they did not want to change it, they were told to change it.
Exactly.
So this is coming from the mayor down.
This is coming from the city versus the actual people who are building the project.
But it wouldn't be majority low, it would be majority affordable. If I
So is
recall.
that
No.
considered mixed to you all, if it's combination of low and affordable? Or do you want it market?
We wanted
low
to
and
include
affordable?
all.
You want it all, okay.
This way, people who are in that 30%, 50%, 60%, 80%, ADU, inclusionary, and some market will keep it afloat, keep it well-maintained.
Now, let me just ask, I know you all discussed it, but typically people in different income brackets and social levels and all this stuff, they don't live together well, so how would that work, even
Well,
if that was approved?
Actually, they do live together well, and there's many examples.
No, I mean in the same building.
Yeah,
as
I'm talking
opposed to
about in the
houses.
same
Okay,
building.
Okay.
The building I live in, for example, has 60 units that range from 30% people making less than $25,000 a year to market value at, the last unit sold at $900,000.
How many?
How many affordable
How many
units?
affordable?
At the time the building was built, they had to have 20%. So as the law changes, it goes up and up, but it is a work in progress. And it's just, why would you give a loan to, or why would we approve giving a loan to someone where we didn't approve their project? That's
Yeah, I
the
was just
question.
curious when they changed their position, but I got the answer.
Right, okay.
So what is the mix? What is the city's mix right now?
100% affordable. And that would
As
be,
far as the 50, 80, they have that percentage?
I've not been given that information.
But so what are we doing? They're asking for our support for the.
For the loan of $18 million.
So, but no one from Bible Way is here, is that correct? To talk about their
No.
side of the story?
Well, it's not, since we did not support their proposal, they're not likely to be here.
Did they know that we're gonna be talking about this tonight? Or did you invite them?
I
If
did,
you didn't invite them, then did you invite them?
I did, I made an effort to get in touch with,
Ms. Williams?
no, with Mission First, who was their representative for this loan.
Because usually Ms. Williams comes out for all that stuff.
Which did. So in any case, we
have the motion.
okay, so we need to vote. So the motion is to not support lending the 18 million. If you're voting to not support, please raise your hand. Okay. If you're voting to support the loan, please raise your hand. Okay, so it is, the motion is carried 4-2 to 0. Right?
Did you announce who made the motion?
Yeah, originally, yeah. Okay, so we will send a letter to the city housing authority with regards to this. We are up to public space, number 8. Public space is RPM 601 Mass Avenue, looking for 2 outdoor cafes.
I don't know if you have them, but I made copies. Everyone does. Andrew Klein here on behalf of RPM Italian. With me is Chris Mears and Juan Carlo, who is the general manager of the new location of RPM Italian. We're here on 2 public space permits. There actually will be 2 sidewalk cafes at this location. One on the south side, K Street side, and the other on the north side, Massachusetts Avenue. And I've given you drawings of both. I'm not sure which one you want to start with. So I think I just had that backwards. It's actually the north side is K Street and the south side is Mass Avenue, but you probably already know that. On the north side, there is contemplated 36 seats, 590 square feet lease. And this is behind the planter area, so there is about almost 6 feet, but then there's an additional 10 feet of clear pedestrian passageway outside of the planter, so there's plenty of space for pedestrians to walk. The south patio actually has even more space adjacent to the cafe, and I don't think it's on that drawing. So let me tell you that it's 13 feet 7 inches between the outside of the cafe and the planters. The south patio will be raised on a platform because there is, the building is not at grade, the building exit is not at grade there, and the sidewalk slopes, and the public space regulations provide if there's a slope in the sidewalk, then you can have a platform, provided at its highest point from the pavement, it does not exceed 18 inches, and this one does not. Happy to entertain any questions you might have. I think they're pretty straightforward. They're both unenclosed sidewalk cafes. There's no enclosure.
There's not gonna be a canopy?
Well, they're unenclosed under the regulations. There will be no canopy.
On
So-
either side? Okay, because what we got from DDOT suggests that you were gonna have a canopy.
Okay, there is a canopy permit, which has already been approved, which is from the building, from the entrance area, but that's not part of this request. There is no canopy over either cafe. And I'm sorry in terms of what you may or may not have received from DDOT, but I think I do that every time I'm here.
Are there any questions for the folks? This is in my single member district. I'm gonna make a statement just for your knowledge. I'm extremely disappointed that the organization did not feel that it needed to come to the ANC to talk about their project and to get approval and support from this organization for its liquor license and the settlement agreement. And I'm really truly hurt that your restaurant did not bother to follow what is the protocol in the DC area. With that said, this particular restaurant is not in a residential area. There is no residential homes nearby. It's in a building that is lawyers, and it is across the street from the AAMC, so it's not going to be affected by noise restrictions. I would have suggested that we have something in writing that would have allowed us to have noise control after midnight and rodent control, since that's a major problem in that particular area where there's so much construction going on. And I'm really disappointed that you guys didn't feel that you needed to deal with that. I am not objecting to the outdoor cafe. So since it's in my single member district, I am making a motion that we allow and accept the patio areas on the north and south side of that building to have their outdoor cafes. Is there any?
From the amendment that we support public space permit for those two cafes.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna.
Second.
Okay, any questions from anybody? Any comments from anybody? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, 6-0-0, the motion is passed.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Klein, do you want the leftovers of your paperwork back?
Sure, I'll see the third cycle, absolutely.
Okay, second public space. Next public space is number 9, Alderstrada.
Good evening, for the record, Andrew Klein on behalf of the applicant. And to my right is Steve Yor, who is the retail manager? regional director for Michael Schlau Restaurants. Michael has Tico on 14th Street and the Rigsby, and this is the third restaurant, Alta Strada, which is just opened. And this is a request for an unenclosed sidewalk cafe permit. This one's a little different in that the seating is tucked around the planters and away from the building, but there's actually 14 feet clear between the building and the seating area and the planters, so there's plenty of space. 28 seats at 9 tables, and we would certainly be happy to answer any questions and address any concerns that you might have. I know, Madam Chair, you had indicated in connection with this one, as you did with the last one, concern about rodents, and I pointed that out to Mr. Yore, and they're working on a program over there to address that, hopefully along with the building owner. So if you have any questions about the cafe, I'm happy to answer them. If there are any other concerns, try to address this as well.
Again, I wear 2 hats in this particular situation. I am the president of the homeowners board for KAC Vista at 475K, and as a chair here, taking 1 hat and being the representative of 292 units. Last week alone, we had to go and tell these people to not do construction at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Those people
Meaning the restaurant.
this particular.
This particular
We're not,
applicant.
we have,
We had to send somebody over at 2:30 in the morning to stop drilling. That was less than about a week ago.
Respectfully, Madam Chair, we haven't done construction in the restaurant. We've been open for 2 weeks. So that's
After you opened, there was construction going on at 2 a.m. I'm telling you, we had to send somebody over there to tell you to stop. That's just a general comment. Again, I am truly disappointed that you folks didn't feel that you needed to come to this ANC to get a letter of support for your license. You and I met in November, before your construction started, and I gave you a sample settlement agreement and hoped that we were going to be able to at least have some sort of agreement in place before you went for your liquor license. You chose not to do that, and you chose to be, to circumvent this organization, and I'm not very happy about that. In the agreement, we would have settled on rodent control, noise control, and other issues that are usually timed when the outdoor cafe would be open. All of those things would have been addressed, and this would have been a breeze. The fact of the matter is, you did not choose to come to this organization, and you did not choose to do that, and that's not good for community love, if you want to know the truth. Stepping aside and becoming the ANC commissioner again, this application is in my single-member district. Did you want to, by the way, make a statement before I make the motion?
Would we like to make a statement? The only statement I would make is I think we have a fundamental disagreement as to how the process works, but as you know, I've always been willing to work with you on behalf of applicants, and I will continue to do so.
Okay, because we do not have an agreement as to hours for the cafe, a noise agreement, or a pest control agreement for the cafe, it's in my single-member district, and I am making a motion that we do not support this outdoor cafe.
Second.
Any comments from commissioners?
You know, I just have to make a comment, because and I'll just say, because it's really, you know, I totally understand your viewpoint, Marge, about the liquor license enforcement, but if ABRA says a restaurant does not have to come before the ANC, and then they actually give a restaurant their license, then it's really the ABRA's deal. That's not, you know, I don't want to say blame a restaurant, because they're doing what they're supposed, and if we're not a requirement, then that's it. It's really ABRA you have to go after. I wouldn't necessarily go after these restaurants. And that is a concern. ABRA should say, you gotta go to the ANC, but apparently, am I correct, Andrew, that it's not a requirement?
That's correct. In
Yeah,
fact,
so it's to go after ABRA instead of some of these restaurants. Correct, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't,
Well, I mean, I believe in terms of the law, and this is my opinion, you can take it for what it's worth, that the law contemplates that it's the ANC's responsibility to notify those with business before the meeting, and that if there's something that's needs to be discussed, then the business operators to be contacted to come before the ANC.
I mean, the other restaurants on the block, they're outdoor coffees.
Yes,
Yes,
and they all
They
came
all do.
through ANC to get.
No, it's only the drilling which disturbed you. The drilling in the night which disturbed you.
Drilling.
Drilling.
Oh, no, I mean, we haven't set up any kind of their liquor license allows them to be there until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. This is a residential building.
Maybe they can limit the outdoor coffee until 12.
But if they had,
Is that it?
well, the point is they didn't come to this group even after we met and talked in November, and they chose not to. So that's why I'm not supporting it. Yes, Nan?
I know it is, I never heard that. I understand there's a schedule, but certain kinds of establishments get up this time of year, about 6 months from now, those with restaurants, grocery stores, there's a schedule in which they do that. If you get a stipulated license, and you're under the impression you don't ever have to come before the ANC?
I do 50 of these a year, I think I know what the law is.
I attend 5 ANC meetings a month, and I hear every other one, license is being reviewed.
If I had not gone to them in November, then it would be that I had done nothing as a commissioner. But I did go to them, speak to them before they even started the construction, so.
I'm asking, there is an average, there's a requirement that they come through.
Well, this is not a matter of liquor license. What we're doing right now is only the outdoor
No,
cafe.
I'm saying, you're saying that they have one and did come through. That's what.
Yes, but what I'm saying is if they had, all of these disturbing things would not be a matter of concern this evening because they would have been settled already.
Do that, so.
Right.
If I can just make one other statement about this operation. This is a restaurant. It is operated by an internationally renowned chef. He has 2 other operations in town. They are restaurants. They're centered around food service. You are not going to have issues with late night, with promoters, with any of that. I mean, this is unquestionably a restaurant. It's centered around food. It's a very small place. I really don't
It's not a small place. It is a huge, gigantic restaurant.
I've been in it, it's not that smart.
In the old Kushi restaurant?
It's not the whole space.
You are eventually opening that whole space, is that correct?
The other space is being used for private dining.
No, it's
all-
a concept within a concept, but that we won't use the outdoor cafe for that side of the restaurant.
The only thing we're being concerned about tonight is the outdoor cafe. So we have a motion not to support and a second. Any other comments from commissioners?
Is it possible that you all could talk to Marge to get an agreement worked out and then we can vote on this?
Well, the restaurant is open. The Public Space Committee has already fumbled this application for a month once. So we're behind. I'm always happy to talk to Marge, not an issue. But we're moving forward at the Public Space Committee later this month because we were supposed to be on last month's agenda.
I'm going to suggest an amendment to your motion. Accept it or decline it. And that would be that if the applicant enters into an agreement with the ANC related to the 3 issues that you raised, which was rodent control, noise control, and hours of outdoor service, and before the Public Space Committee meeting this month, that we would then support the application. Would that work for you?
Yes. Are you willing to sit down and come up with some sort of a written agreement on that?
As I said, we're always willing to sit down, whether we're gonna come to agreement or not is another story.
Then I'm making a motion that, that we meet and come to an agreement on the three issues, which is noise, rodents, and hours, before we will send to public space that we are accepting this, we would support this application, we have to come to an agreement.
And if there is no agreement, then
We
we oppose the
oppose it.
application.
Okay, so everybody is aware of that, okay. Any other questions? Okay, so we have, I made a motion, Alex seconded the motion, all in favor, please signal.
Let's review real quick, so state it again, Marge, please.
I'm making a motion that in order for us to approve this application, the applicant needs to sit down and come up with an agreement for the three issues, noise, pest control, hours, I'm sorry, my mind just went, in order for us to say that we support this application.
And if no agreement is met.
And if no agreement is confirmed, then we will not support this application. All in favor?
Nay. Nay.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so it is 5-0-0.
No,
That's
one nay.
5-1.
I'm sorry, 5-1-0. Rochelle opposing.
Great, thank you, we'll be in touch, thank you.
Public space, 1533 9th Street.
I don't know that anyone is here to represent Shiloh about this sort of place. But, if not, I have a copy of the application here. And this is there someone? This is very simple. This is an existing driveway at this address. So there's a curb cut and access to a parking lot at this address at 1533 9th Street Northwest. This is located between 1527 9th Street, which is where Swatch Room is located, and 1535 9th Street Northwest, which is a Shiloh Baptist Church building that is currently under renovations. We previously supported zoning relief for the renovation of the adjacent building and the use of this particular parcel as surface parking. So this particular public space application only relates to the curb cut and the apron, which need to be replaced in kind. So this is not a new curb cut in the historic district. This is a replacement of an existing. And it is in my single-member district, and I would propose a motion that ANC6E support the public space application for the driveway at 1533 9th Street.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made by Alex, seconded by Frank. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So it is 6-0-0 for the vote. Next is 1336 8th Street. Is there someone here from Roadside or from, yes, Roadside?
I didn't know if it was able, did they use this to present? No? They never use it?
No.
We haven't yet.
I don't know, there doesn't seem to be a wall. We could do it maybe there, and while Joe Belli from Shalom Barnes Associates. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the commission. My name is Richard Lake, with Roadside Development, and I'm here joined by Kevin Benoski Brian Corcoran from Roadside, and Dr. Gato, pronounce it Moreau. Moreau, sorry. That's easy. From Dante Partners. And we are the development team that's going to develop the vacant lot that's been used by the churches at the corner of 8th and O, directly south of the Camry Suites Hotel and the City Market project. We thought we'd just come and give an update. We're not asking for any motion, we just wanted in advance to kind of show you what progress we've made. We've been working with OP staff, we've been working with the city, we've been working with HBRB staff, Steve Pocock. We will be filing, we are required to file with the Historic Preservation Review Board within 90 days of getting council approval. We received council approval about 60 days ago, so we're running up on the clock. But our plans really haven't changed from originally, except little tweaks in here and there on architecturals. Remind everybody, we're placing the parking for the church, the Catholic Church, Immaculate Conception, at City Market, and we're giving them a parish hall as part of the overall arrangement. And we are building, depending on how well we do for the city, anywhere from roughly around 76 to 78 residential units. They are designed to be condos with 6 townhouses along 8th Street, and Joe will show you that, to try to match up with the current existing fabric along 8th Street. And the whole goal is to create really 3 sets of structure, three forms, as opposed to a large building. There's enough large buildings, we feel, and we felt this was important to introduce different architecture and make it feel a little bit more like a collection of buildings as opposed to one single building. And a roughly, just under 4,000 square foot retail opportunity could be broken up into 2 retail opportunities, as opposed to the Cedric or another restaurant. So we've been very fortunate to work with you all in the past, and we thought this was a good opportunity for at least show you all progress. And then, of course, before our hearing, once we get a hearing date from, you don't have to pull that back. Yeah. Once we get a hearing date, we'll obviously come back with a formal presentation to give you and then ask for your support. And then obviously, if there's